I'm Myke Shrews,
And I'm Tivis.
and you're listening to
The Munster Cast.
episode 71. Welcome back, everybody, to the MUNSTER CAST, the podcast where we watch and talk about the monsters and monsters adjacent. I have, of course, your host, Myke Shrews, here with my co-host and friend, Tivis. So, Tivis, please tell everybody out there in the Munsterverse. How you doing today, man?
A little tired. This is the earliest we've probably ever recorded.
Yeah. That was my energy. By the way, you're not getting any more from me today.
Sorry about last week. We had family in town, and we felt it was best. Family's important. So I hope we know everyone would understand. So,
but I hope everybody loved the fact that I put Uncle or Cousin Phantom of the Opera in the image for the week. I know Tivis loves that character.
God.
All right, real quick, guys, the dirty work. You can find the Munster Cast on all social media platforms. That is Facebook, Instagram, and the Twitter, and of course, YouTube, all via the Munster Cast. You can check out our pretty ugly faces on youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. And then you can also go over to the MunsterCast website and check out all of our content over there. That would be our audio, video, blogs, vlogs, whatever you guys want to check out over at themunstercast.com. And then you can also check out, we have a Munsters Today specific tab that has a little bit of information about the Munsters Today, has imagery, a bunch of pictures from different episodes. I think we have 1 through 12 up right now for images. We'll be uploading more images as we continue along, going throughout the episodes and everything like that. You can also hit. Oh, go on.
Well, I was just gonna, since we were already talking about the Munsters Today, you can also go to MunsterCast.com/watch the Munsters Today.
Yeah.
And it'll take you to the archive where you can watch along with us.
Yeah, definitely. And that way you guys can watch every single episode. The only episode that's not on that website is going to be the pilot episode, which you can find again on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. Again, if you're on the website though too, you can also click on the right hand side of your screen. There should be a little microphone icon, not a mic. I am not there. It will not let me put my image on there. I've tried. You can click the little microphone icon and leave us voicemails and everything like that. That was probably one of the quickest ways to get onto your voice, anyways, onto the show. And let us know anything that you want us to know about your Munster fandom, Munster love, or even if you have like Munster fan stories and you'd like to share them with us. We'd definitely love to hear that, guys. And then you can also go over to the munstercast.com/merch, or just click the merch tab on the website, and that will take you directly over to our shop where you can buy all your awesome Munsters t-shirts that we have made and curated specifically for y'all, the Munster fans out there. Anybody in the Munster fandom would love any of these shirts. I am sure of it. And then you can also email us as well at themunstercast@outlook.com. And there you can, let us know again, like your Munster stories, your Munster fandom reasons, fan films, anything like that. Or if you want to come on to the show and be a guest and be our guest. And I'm not going to start singing that song, I promise, Tivis.
No, we'll get in trouble.
Yeah, Disney will sue the shit out of us. So then just email us over there at themunstercast@outlook.com, guys, for anything Munster related, or just to come on to the show, or if you would like to suggest somebody come on to the show, if you know them personally, that always helps too.
Or if you know someone who worked on the show.
Yes. Yeah, if you know anyone who worked on any of the Munsters shows, movies, anything like that.
And we're talking anyone. Like, we said this before when we talked the classic show, but it's been a while. But
yeah,
we'll talk to lighting, the sound person, person who designed the sets. We don't care who was involved. We just want to talk to them.
If you know the PA who had to go and get the coffee for somebody, let us talk to him. I'd just like to hear, like, how the set was and everything, especially with some of these actors. Next, Tivis, that's on you, dude.
Yeah, well, we have our Patreon, of course, so you could help support the show through there. And if you do Lester's next big investment, you gain access to our Discord, where we are hoping to. I said that right? You're laughing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just always funny to watch you have to
struggle
figure
with
it
that.
out. Yeah, because you're like, what is it called?
Anyway, we have a Discord. We're trying to help build a community on a platform that is not run by a crazy person.
Any crazy person?
Yeah, at least for now. Microsoft is trying to buy them. We'll see. But anyway,
no, it's not just that crazy person. There's other crazy people out there that run social media.
Oh, I know. But yeah, anyway,
two of the big ones are trying to do a cage fight.
Well, they also want to do a literal measuring contest.
Oh God, I didn't hear about that, but no, I don't want
to. Yeah. Guess which one initiated that. But anyway, yeah, join our Patreon, help support the show, because as everyone should know by now, this may be a hobby, but it's not, cheap to do, especially with the production value we do. So if you want to help support the show, you can go through there, or what helps us even more is leaving a review, telling a friend, tell people, if you didn't enjoy our show, tell someone you hate, make them hate listen, subject them to our voices. All that stuff helps the show grow way more. And let's see. You have something else on here. I don't know what that is. So
yes,
that's you.
So I have a request for some people out there. This week, I found out that a production company, an independent production company that I really enjoy. I've always enjoyed them. They're based out of New York City, and they are the ones responsible for such things as like the Toxic Avenger and all that stuff. Trauma Entertainment. They're also the reason why we probably have like James Gunn out in the world. Like that was one of the first places he worked. So a lot of their content all got torn down from YouTube without any reason or anything. YouTube just took it off, and there's a lot of independent filmmakers who that was the only outlet where you could see their work at. So there is a what do they call, a petition going on to try and save Trauma on YouTube. So I have it on our link here. It's themunstercast.com/save Trauma on YouTube, and Trauma is spelled TROMA. And then you just click on or go over to that, or click it in the description if we get in the description, guys, this week. And then you guys can go over there and sign the petition, try and help some independent filmmakers get their stuff back up and be able to be seen, because they were talking about how there's a lot of stuff that went, only to YouTube, and it's kind of lost right now. I don't know why a production company would only have it on YouTube. Like you'd think that it would be backed up, but it is a very low budget indie company, so there's not necessarily always going to be that for all their content out there.
Yeah,
so
I mean, it also could be external might have failed on them, because they do that. You do have to replace those every now and then. Just to warn people, if you have an external hard drive, make sure you check how long they're expected to live.
Yeah, well, you're also supposed to be checking and plugging them in every so often too, to make sure that they don't just die. Yeah, we flip ours around all the time because we have most of our family content on one drive, and I just continually switch it to a new drive every so often so we don't lose it, because it costs a fortune just to try and get it back if it does get lost.
Yeah,
all right.
But no, that's a really good cause, because those may not be my type of films, but I do support indie creators. I mean, I just supported Bad Ben. Which, if anyone knows any of those 12 movies, they're really terrible haunted movies, basically.
Yeah.
Found footage. So yeah, definitely support the indie
Definitely
creators.
do it, guys. I mean, Trauma Films is responsible for a lot of like big people that we know today as well. A lot of people started there. I think George Clooney got a start there, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
thought he was on a soap opera.
Well, I mean, before that, before like all that stuff, because George Clooney was even in like Killer Tomatoes 2 or something like that. Such a stupid movie, but it's so fun. So yeah, all these, you remember, all these artists had to come from somewhere, and without those outlets, it kind of sucks, because they don't get to hone their craft. Like that's where James Gunn like kind of honed his craft. I believe it was on writing and stuff like that. So
as Grandpa said last episode, how is he ever going to get discovered?
right, how will he ever be discovered? All right, anyways, enough with our shilling of all these other stupid things. This week, we are talking about Neighborly Munsters, which aired May 6th, 1989. I did not write a synopsis. I just remembered as soon as I looked over at my notes. All right, here we go. I don't know. This week on the Munsters Today, the Munsters get new neighbors. Are they good? Are they evil? Are they kooky? We will find out as chaos ensues. All right, that's it. That's
Did you
all you get.
seriously make an Addams Family reference?
Did I?
They're kooky.
Oh, they're kooky. Oh, they're kooky and they're spooky. God. Uh-oh, I lost Tivis.
Oh, son of a gun.
There we go. I can hear you, dude.
Okay.
Let's go.
I'll just stand here with my hand up. Yeah, Neighborly Munsters, Season 1, Episode 21, Episode 91 overall. This aired, as Myke said, May 6th, 1989. Now I get to do your part. Written by Bill Rosenthal and Noah Taft.
Yeah.
Who we last saw with Green-Eyed Monsters. But do you know the director of this one?
I do not know.
It is Norman Abbott. Do you remember that name?
Okay, yeah, from the original.
12 episodes of the original series he directed.
Man, how old was he then?
Well,
70s,
he was born
80s?
in 1922, so
okay.
So
60s? No. Yeah, about 70.
Yeah. Let's see, 89. So yeah, about 7, yeah.
Yeah.
Roughly. The cast this week, we have the Nelsons returning. Mary Cardoet, I think is how you pronounce that. I'm never going to get that right. As Dee Dee Nelson, Scott Reeves as Dustin Nelson, and Greg Mullavey as Roger Nelson. The Nelsons.
The Nelsons.
You ready to dive into this?
And I told you, I said when we were saying, oh, I wonder if it's like this neighbors and these neighbors. It's totally like it's freaking Marcy Darcy all over again.
Yeah.
All right, so let's dive on into this then, shall we? We open up with Herman watching TV, and it's this like PBS broadcast of like a biography. That's what it is, of this dancer. And do you have the dancer's name? Because I forgot to write that down.
No, I did not get that.
Crap. Okay. Because I was wondering if he was real or not.
I love that'd be interesting. I love that he takes like a fistful of popcorn, tosses them in the air, and not a single one lands near his mouth.
Yeah. None.
They're like, if it lands, that's awesome. If it doesn't, that's a gag. Yeah, so what happened to this tap dancer, Myke?
He lost his legs. And Herman's like, whoa, he lost his legs?
Couldn't be. He wasn't around Transylvania.
And he lost them in an accident, a freak accident in Transylvania.
That was
But
300 years ago.
don't tell me it was 300 years ago.
Yeah.
It was approximately 300 years ago.
Yeah.
And then Herman
Herman's like
just starts
loses
freaking
it.
out.
I got this guy's legs. So you have to wonder, has he ever thought about where his pieces come from before?
Probably only one.
Because how do organ donors like? Do they want to know, or are they just like, thank you for the organ, I can live?
You mean the people that get the organs and stuff?
Yeah.
I'm sure some people like look into the history of it and stuff.
Hmm.
Because I mean, there have been issues where like people have done, was it heart transplants and stuff like that? And like they've gotten people's husbands' hearts and stuff, and then there's these
Yeah.
weird things that like make zero sense because a heart doesn't actually hold your emotional attachment to people. It's a fucking organ that pumps your blood. Get over it, people. Sorry.
Yeah. There is a shortage on donors out there. By the way, anyone listening, if you live a healthier lifestyle than myself, they
That's
will.
because everybody keeps dying in freak accidents. There's no freaking organs left.
Well, also most people look like me or worse, so
You still have
there's
some
no
good
healthy
organs.
organs available.
I mean, your liver's probably good because you don't drink.
No.
So we'll take your liver, your esophagus, your
It's gonna be fatty
tendons,
liver.
all your tendons and stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, Herman starts freaking out. And then the theme show to the show starts playing and he dances like a madman.
Yep. He's like, oh crap. And he starts shaking the house. And I like this guy because we haven't seen them really do the shake from Herman dancing because we did the whole dance episode and we didn't get that.
Yeah, the Raven's like, hey, get down.
And then we go down to
Well, real quick,
geez.
the lake thing, it makes so much sense for Herman, like in both shows, honestly.
The lake.
Like if he has a dancer's leg.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I could see that.
I know there's stuff later on in the episode, but just saying, from this info here, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we cut to the lab, and
But I also don't think it's like, I don't know. They try and play it off like it would be muscle memory or something. That's
well,
not.
this is a sitcom.
That's not how that works.
We've seen a lot stranger stuff in this show. All right.
Yeah. So then we go down in Grandpa's lab, and Grandpa's lab is shaking like an earthquake, and he's
Do you
like
remember
freaking.
what Grandpa's doing?
He is doing like some eye thing to the skeleton guy.
Leonard.
Yes,
Yeah, he's giving an eye exam to Leonard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's freaking out. He's like, oh crap, it's an earthquake, and I hope it's the big one. So yeah, he rushes upstairs. He finds Herman dancing and confirms it's the big one, all right.
He
shuts off. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Yeah, he shuts off the TV and tells Herman to cut it out while he's giving Leonard an eye exam. Herman thought Grandpa already.
Oh, go on.
Oh, he's like, didn't you already do that? He's like, I did, and I'll continue to give it to him until he passes one. Now sit down.
And then Grandpa proceeds to sit down instead of going back downstairs to continue the eye exam.
Yeah, he just gets in his chair.
Yeah. And then we get Lily and Eddie walk in with the paper bags, and Eddie's like, so Mom, why did you take and get paper versus plastic? And what was her excuse to this? Or reasoning? I shouldn't say excuse. What was her reasoning?
Well, obviously because it's the best environmental choice, but
is it
Lily says
killing so many trees.
Was that?
You're killing so many trees though.
Well, that's why we have reusable totes now. Thank God. But at
But
least
what if
it's
you don't believe in
degradable,
that?
unlike plastic, which keeps trees from growing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, Lily says that would have suffocated dinner.
Yeah.
And then tells Eddie to get it in the kitchen before it crawls away.
Which I feel dinner would be able to eat its way out of the bag.
Probably. What the hell are they cooking?
Right. Yeah, we never really see what they ever like cook, especially in this show.
In the classic one, we saw them having dinner a lot, but
Yeah.
not so much in this one.
It's because in the 80s they didn't really eat that much, I guess. I don't know. They were all on coke. You don't know where to go from that, do you?
No, I don't. So I'm just going to continue. She turns to the grandpa and Herman and says, good news, everyone. Someone bought the house next door. Grandpa thinks it's about time. The neighborhood needs some fresh blood. Lily is just excited to make new friends. She misses the old one. And Grandpa says, some friends, they take a quick 22-minute nap and they all move away. Now, is he using 22 minutes to represent 22 years that they fell asleep?
Maybe.
Because, yeah, you're going to get new people probably.
Yeah.
Herman just hopes they're fun people. He would hate to live next door to a bunch of stiffs. And Lily leaves for the kitchen, and Herman begins examining his legs again.
He like sniffs his foot. Very weirdly.
At this point, I'm like, oh no. Don't tell me this is another out of episode or, out of order episode.
Oh, yeah.
But thankfully it's not.
Yeah.
Because we get Roger. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, you thought that too?
I thought it too for a second until the dialogue came up, and I was like, okay, good. Whew.
Yeah. So we have Roger escorting Dee Dee into their new house.
Mm-hmm.
She is blindfolded, and he doesn't help her at all into this place, I might add. She just kind of wanders in. So she takes it off. You must have spent a fortune on it. And then I get my realization this is not an out of order episode. Thank God.
As she
looks out the window.
Yeah. Looks out the two doors and sees the Munsters house right next door. And she
those were windows, not doors.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
No, those are doors that open up.
That looks like one of those windows that are like kind of out.
Like a bay window?
Yeah.
No, because they're floor to ceiling almost. But there's no. Well, they could be either or. They really could be either or.
Well, anyway, she looks outside and sees
the Munsters house.
Yep. And she screams and tries to storm out, but he stops her. He's like, hey, the previous owners were practically giving it away. How could I not buy it? All right.
Of course they were giving it away.
Yeah.
They didn't want to live next to the monsters. Dude, Dee Dee is such a bitch.
Oh my God. Yeah. So she's like, I'm going to go stay at the condo.
So here's the image of those things. They could be either or, windows or doors.
Yeah.
For people watching the video.
Those do kind of look like handles.
Yeah. But they could either be to open the window, but it's hard to tell. Yeah. Okay.
Huh. Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna go stay at the condo, and Roger's like, that's not gonna be possible. You sold it, didn't you?
You sold the condo?
He's like, look, I know this is not happy, but I'm gonna get you an Olympic-sized swimming pool out back. I'm designed by Mr. Frank.
I'm curious when the first episode that we watched with her in it takes place now, because she didn't seem to freak nearly as much in that episode.
So that first one, it sounds like that was her second time in the house, because she's like, oh, I'm in here again.
Yeah. Or third. I mean, it could have been her third time, because she just says again, not like for the second time.
I got the impression it was a second. but
she doesn't freak nearly as much in that episode as she does in these other episodes. That seem like
that's true. Yeah,
they could have been beforehand.
she's definitely a lot more tolerable. That's for sure.
Yeah, and not like freaking out like hardcore.
Yeah,
or calling the police.
This guy wants to get an Olympic-sized swimming pool in his backyard.
Mm-hmm.
How big is his backyard? Because we know the Munsters is pretty sizable.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I would assume like most of these properties over in Mockingbird Lane have like big yards and stuff. That's yeah.
Yeah. I did try to look up to see if Mr. Frank was a real person, and I found nothing at all that any famous pool designer ever existed. So, nice if you're watching on YouTube and you know of a possible reference this could be to, very much appreciated. Always love your input. So yeah, apparently Mr. Frank is so busy, even the president is put on a waiting list, but she's always dreamed of having a Frank designed pool. And Roger's like, well, if you're willing to give it a try now, we could get one. And she's like, I want you to promise that you're going to deal with them. Sure. That's how, that they won't deal with them. And I'm like, sure, that's how neighbors work. You absolutely never see them ever.
I barely see mine. Barely see mine.
But you still see them.
Very rarely.
But you still see them.
I mean, there was Frank Lloyd Wright that did architecture, designs, and pools and shit like that type of stuff, but he died in 1959. So,
yeah. Well, I couldn't even find that guy. So you found someone more info than I did.
Well, my wife was an interior designer. Let me ask her real quick, babe.
Oh, I thought she left. All right.
Pool designers named Frank from the 80s. Was there one like a famous one? Oh, no, she doesn't know.
Okay.
Did you pay attention in college? Jesus. I love you, baby. Hey, you say it back. I love you. I love you. All right, let's continue.
I'm telling you, dude, one of these days you're just going to get slapped on screen.
She wouldn't slap me on screen.
I'm going to save it as a GIF. We'll use that as the thumbnail. So, yeah, let's see. Yeah, Roger promises that, they won't deal with them at all. But this is when Eddie just barges into their house looking for his escape.
He walks right up through the fucking door.
His Tasmanian devil has escaped, so he thinks it's in the house. And Dee Dee's like, okay, can you at least promise Dustin will not go near Marilyn? And I'm like, what a piece of work this lady is. But yeah. Dustin comes in showing Marilyn the new house. And Dee Dee then just goes up to the wall to have a panic attack and huff paint or whatever this lady's doing. I hate her. Yeah.
I think she is the worst antagonist the Munsters have had in any of the shows.
I will take cousin Phantom of the Opera back over her.
Like as like the Munster bad guys go, like she's even worse, I feel, than like the mummy guy, the bad mummy dude, like from the movie
from Munster's Revenge.
Yeah. She's kind of a dick.
Even Herman's crazy cousin in Munsters Go Home wasn't this annoying. All right.
So we should watch that again, is what you're saying?
Nah, I'm down.
Only his parts.
Yeah. Back at Munsters, back at the Munsters, Dustin and Marilyn walk in with him apologizing for his mom.
Do we call it Munster Mansion or Munster House? Which are we
used to call it Munster Manor. But this version doesn't feel like much of a manor.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I think it's the open interior that
Gets
kind of
it.
just, it doesn't do it for
Right.
me.
Okay.
She says not everyone can be blessed with a family like hers. And honest to God, in this version of the show, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
These people care a lot, and it actually shows a lot. So she sees her aunt setting the table and rushes to tell her the good news about Dustin. Lily is pleased with this outcome because, I like the Nelsons. They're nice people.
Yeah.
Marilyn goes to turn on the record player as Herman walks out, happy to see Dustin, and then he begins dancing, pleading with them to stop the music.
As he has a plunger in his hand.
Yeah. What was he up to out back? Lily had no idea Herman could tap dance. Well, neither did Herman until this morning. He tells her about the tap dancer, and she laughs at him, saying it was on. He's like, it was on TV and everything. You can't believe everything on TV. A statement that's still true today, especially for so-called nonfiction channels like History, Discovery, and the Learning Channel.
But he says, but it was on PBS.
And she's like, just go see a doctor. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm like, oh, we finally going to see Dr. Cutter? But no, this never comes back around. We have to see Dr. Cutter eventually, right? They keep referencing him.
Maybe. Eventually. Season 2.
Or 3.
Or 5.
Well, yeah, 2 more to go. And I'm pretty happy about that. So back at the Nelson house, Dee Dee has bricked up the window door thing facing the Munster house.
The window door thing.
Roger tells her she is having a mental breakdown, and she's like, yep. She takes the pool plans from Frank. It's slightly bigger than their backyard.
They're back in their stupid green suits, though.
Yeah,
like
that was
generic, like
them,
80s, like what like windbreaker
suits.
Yeah, they were for rich people then, but shit, like now you wear them and you just get made fun of. But they were Fila brand. Did you notice that? They had the Fila
I don't know
logo
what
on
that
them.
is.
It's never mind then.
I'm not a fashion designer.
It's not. You know what Fila shoes are? Like the shoes? Like Nike, Fila's.
Oh, okay, I know Nike.
Yeah. God, okay.
I know Nike, I know Skechers, I know Crocs.
Tivis needs to get
something
off the
called
internet
Vans
and just
that I
go
hate.
out into the world once in a while.
I don't care about fashion brands. I
thought you were about to say I don't care about the real world.
I don't care about that either. But I almost got thrown out of a Macy's for calling some $500 purse a Game Boy holder because it literally was designed just to hold a Game Boy. Like, I'm sorry, what can you put in this?
Yeah.
Oh, I got the nastiest looks from the lady working that area. But here's the thing. You're being ripped off, people, and you're happy with it. But whatever, as long as you're happy, I guess.
All right, continue.
Where was I? Oh, yeah. It's he's like, I'm going to have to ask him to shrink it. She's like, you can't mess with a Frank design. Go handle it. So he's
just
like,
handle it.
Yeah. I'm like, well, okay. They're going to have to share a pool in the backyard now, I guess, which I hope makes for new scenery for the show, because any change up is great. I would love to see a backyard shot again.
We'll probably never remember the pool was made after this.
I don't know. We might. So, oh, yeah, I also have the sea surfing is definitely moving in, which didn't turn out happening. So that was a bad call on my end.
That sea serpent left.
Did she?
Yeah, with her baby. Spots baby.
I didn't get
that kid's gonna grow up and be a fatherless serpent.
Yeah. Sad. Oh, yeah. We get a line here that mentions her therapist encouraging her behavior, which sounds a lot like my aunt's therapist, who is just a psychic.
It's not a therapist, then.
No, it's not, and I don't care to say it publicly because she's insane. Plus, she's afraid of 5G, so the doorbell rings.
Oh my God. People don't even understand what the G stands for anyways.
No. So the doorbell rings and Roger says, you need to at least pretend to be nice to these people if you want to use their backyard, because their plan is they're going to ask the Munsters if they can expand their pool into the Munsters' backyard.
Mm-hmm. By just a few feet too.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that happens. There's lots of times where that has happened. You just have to get like written consent and stuff like that, and usually there's like some money involved, and
in hopes they never piss you off.
Sometimes there's money involved where you're just literally just purchasing that subplot of their lot, and then making it part of your land at that point in time.
Yeah, he's like, but yeah, Roger's like, you're gonna have to at least pretend to be nice, and she's like, never. And then she sees Lily and Herman through the what is
the people?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I literally have it in my notes that I forgot what it was called when I was writing this, so I still haven't remembered. Over a week later, she freaks out as usual. I can't stand enough how much I dislike her. And I really enjoy Roger more, but I never want to see this character again after this episode, I'll be honest. She begins calling her therapist, but he smacks the phone out of her hand. And she runs away while he answers the door. Herman is impressed with the potential of this house. He's like, oh, hello, doo-doo. But Roger corrects him, making Herman wonder why she changed her name. They brought a start your own spiderweb kit.
I'm still trying to figure out what their house is, because I feel I've seen that set before in something else.
Oh, I would not doubt it.
Because it's too like it stands out. It just stands out. So I'm trying. If anybody knows out there what other show or movie this set was used in, please let me know, because it's been bothering me every time I would see the house set. I'm like, this has been in something else, dude. Come on.
Yeah. No, I fully believe that, because it definitely looked familiar.
Yeah.
They brought your own They brought a start your own spiderweb kit.
Yep.
But Herman forgot the spiders in his other jacket. So he'll just stop by and drop it in the mailbox later. We find out that Roger's full name is Roger Milhouse Nelson.
Oh, you forgot when he called her Doo-Doo. He says, hello, Doo-Doo. Oh, did you?
Yeah, Roger corrects him, and he's like, when did you change your name?
Yeah.
Okay. She tells him there is nothing that will make her friendly with these people, and I just wish the floor gave way and she got sucked into oblivion, honestly. He just says Frank designed pool, and she jumps up and begins acting like a reasonable adult finally. I'm sorry, listeners, but I've known far too many people like this person in real life, and I can't. Like, you're out of high school and you're 50-year-old. Just get over it. People exist. She begins asking if they want to hear music, and Herman immediately says no.
But they're like, well, we have all these musics. They're like, they had some classicals, and they're like, oh, we have Grateful Dead.
Yeah. Well, they list 3. We got Streisand, Bach, and the Grateful Dead, which is something I never expected. But Roger's like, Dustin's a deadhead, and now Lily's like excited because so is Herman.
Which Dustin doesn't really come off as a deadhead either.
No, but I guess the rebellious teen.
I guess.
Yeah.
I had an uncle who used to listen to Grateful Dead all the time, and that's how I got into them.
Yeah, they're just good. Herman, AC/DC I got into because of my dad, so
yeah,
he's got almost every album, even international imports, vinyl.
Yeah.
Herman begins dancing like crazy and goes out the bricked up window door thing. And Lily's just like, bye, and follows him out. Dee Dee tells her husband that it is impossible and he has to do it himself. Eddie comes back into the room, apparently still wandering around their house this entire time, unable to locate his Tasmanian devil.
And she's like, "Oh God, is it poisonous?"
What, for God's sakes, lady, learn something.
He's like, "No, but it has rabies."
At which point I'm like, "Oh, dude, it's only got a week to live."
Which okay, we'll get into it later.
Yeah.
But then they walk away, and he is this when he says you're freaking out, and she's like, "I already froke."
Probably. I just have that she's going upstairs to deal with her migraine, and Roger's like, well, I'm gonna go start building that friendship, and then he shivers for some reason. I'm like, what? Dude was so into Herman before. What changed?
Yeah.
And he's like, a Nelson's got to do what a Nelson's got to do, which is hilarious because we hear Herman say that a lot.
It's in that spot right there where they did that. It just didn't make sense for his character, I felt, because of what we've seen him do throughout the rest of the time we've ever seen him.
He's just remembering who he's married to.
Yeah, he shivered because of his wife.
I don't like this lady, dude. I really don't.
I'm telling you, it's like their version of Marcy Darcy.
Marcy's not a terrible character, though. I like Marcy.
You would, Steve. And anyone who doesn't watch Married with Children did not know what we're talking about at the moment. So let's move on.
No, Married with Children is where the main character is in a toxic relationship and their neighbors are normal people that he sucks into his problems.
Not really. I would say Marcy Darcy and her relationship with Steve was the first husband, was a very toxic relationship too, because he just did whatever the fuck she told her. Huh?
Steve's not there anymore?
She gets married to another guy.
Oh, spoilers.
Spoilers. Sorry, dude. I thought you'd seen the whole show.
No, I'm only on season 2.
My bad.
Nah, it's fine. It's
you guys need to watch the video. Tivis's whole life just went and fuck me.
Nah, here's it's how old. If I haven't watched it by now, it's my own fault. It's whatever. I don't care. But back at the Munsters, Roger and Herman walk in after playing a round of tennis, or several rounds. I can't tell. Herman throws his racket, and Roger shows his with a hole in it that from Herman's serve. Roger's like, all that matters is that they're pals now, and grabs Herman's shoulder. Herman reciprocates and knocks Roger to the ground because he doesn't know his own strength. Now that they're pals, it's time to talk about the backyard situation. But first, Herman wants to say how nice it's been to be friends with Roger. It's just nice to have someone who likes him for him and not just to take advantage of him.
Yeah. And I like that scene. It was nice.
Yeah.
And you could see Roger was like, he felt it too. With his response that he's like, never mind. Like, basically, like he holds off from asking about the pool because he's like, well, I don't want to fuck this up because I think I'm kind of liking him too right now. Like,
he's getting to know the person, which is, I've been asking for this for so long, and we finally get the character, and he has to come attached with the most problematic thing in the show. But at least we finally get it.
Yeah.
And so that makes me happy to see. Roger punches Herman in the arm and then gets the heck out of the way because Herman goes to do the same.
For the second or third time. And he pulls his racket up. Then we go back.
It would be nice to have someone, similar to what we saw with Clyde towards the end of the original show, where they were really good friends, even though Clyde tried to kill him originally.
With his stupid pranks.
Yeah.
Then we go back over to the what is their last name? Nelson's. We go back to the Nelson's house.
I forgot it at one point in my notes as well.
Yeah. As Dee Dee is on the phone, she's hanging a picture up in a very retarded place. A stupid place. Sorry. I didn't do that one on purpose, I swear. And
she fixed the wall.
She fixed the wall again. She hung a picture up, and she's on the phone with the police.
Yeah, she called the cops on the
like,
Munsters.
I need to tell you that we lived at 1311 Mockingbird Lane, and my neighbors are just like crazy. And she's like, well, for one, their son has their Tasmanian devil lost somewhere in my house, and I have no clue where. And then and for two, their dragon. Oh, God.
She's just okay with a dragon, so maybe those aren't uncommon in this world.
She's like, well, for two, their dragon burned off the stripes off of her whatever car. I know I'm not okay.
Yeah, their new BMW.
Yeah, they fired it. I fired my house.
Oh, we're so sleep deprived people.
Oh, it's not even funny.
No.
All right, and then
Roger comes in with the mail.
Yeah, Roger comes in with the mail.
Did he call it the snail, by the way?
I don't know. I didn't catch that one.
Because I know the internet wasn't prevalent until the late 90s, but I think it was still publicly available at this time, so emails might have been a thing. So could snail mail have that term existed at this point?
I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Snail mail? You've never heard that?
I've never heard that.
Yeah, that's just the post. You send a letter through the post office.
It's just called mail, Tivis.
People call it snail mail because it's slower than an email.
You can't email packages. Okay, anyways.
Yeah, I know, but I can't believe you're 30-something and never heard that term.
I am not in my 30s. I'm in my 20s. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, 40-year-old. Yeah.
He walks in with the mail and hands it to her, and she is looking at this box, and she sits it down, goes through the mail. They're talking about how they're going to
have the Munsters over.
Yeah.
And he's like, you better behave.
And this is when she opens the box and notices what's in it and just throws it up everywhere. And poor dude, he's like trying to stomp on all the spiders that are clearly not there. But
yeah.
And then
that's when they just walk into the front door.
Yep.
Herman and Lily.
Herman and Lily just walk on in and like, oh, you got the spiders. And Lily walks over to Dee Dee, who's hiding behind the bush again.
The plant, whatever. What is that thing?
A ficus?
Maybe. I don't
know. And she's like, "Oh, you'll have this house covered in cobwebs or spider webs in no time."
Yeah. Can I just say, I've had friends whose parents have told me when I was younger, you could just come in at any point in time. I can't do that. My grandparents programmed me. You knock. You always knock.
Yeah. Knock before you enter, regardless.
Yeah. Like I don't. Whenever I see them, like Lily, Herman, and Eddie just walking into the neighbor's house, I'm like, no, that's not socially okay.
Even with family, I still just knock. I go into my in-laws and all that stuff. I'm the only one in my house that knocks, by the way, to go into their house. Like my wife doesn't knock, my kids don't knock. I'm like, you guys need to learn to knock. Because I make them knock before they come into our house.
It's just polite.
At least when I'm home, they do. Yeah.
So Lily's like, we're going to throw you a welcoming party.
The parents from Everybody Loves Raymond don't knock. No. And neither does his brother. Anyways.
You showed me here's the relevant thing. You were watching bloopers for Everyone Loves Raymond, and you found one of his brother being Herman Munster.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah. What is the actor's name? Crap. Why do I always forget it about it?
Yeah, so they're like welcoming party, and Dee runs out saying, "Oh, we can't make it." Roger's like, "Pool," and she's like, "What can we bring?"
It's Brad Garrett was pretending to be Herman Munster in
His name's Brad?
Yeah.
Huh. I never knew that.
Yeah. He played the Krang in the TMNT 2 movie that Michael Bay did. Anyways.
Yeah. Roger then brings up the pool that they designed in the shape of a heart.
Yeah.
And Herman says that's his favorite organ, but it's it's a little too big for our yard. So Herman's like, well, why don't you cut off the aorta?
Did you notice Dee Dee's like stupid like thing over the couch, and then she had her legs up like a freaking teenage girl?
Yeah. He's like, behave. Okay. For those who don't know, the aorta is the main artery that carries blood away from your heart to the rest of your body. So something Herman probably doesn't have.
I really don't know if Herman has a lot of blood based on the color of his skin.
Yeah, that's. I think that might have been what this joke was going for, but if you don't know biology, which I don't, I had to look up what the aorta does. Yeah, so Roger was hoping, he's like, hey, is it okay if we extend it into your yard by a couple feet? And Herman's like, sure, as long as it doesn't impact Grandpa's moat.
Yeah.
So the moat is Grandpa's? Where is Grandpa, by the way? Eddie will
barely in this.
Yeah, because at this point I'm like, where has Grandpa been? We haven't seen him since the opening.
They didn't need any more shock value to Dee Dee.
Yeah, so Eddie's like, or they go, Eddie will have a new place to put his piranhas. And Dee Dee's like, no.
Piranhas, no. Oh, yeah, because they came over to tell them they were going to do a
welcoming party.
Welcoming party, that's right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then
cut to that night with the party. Raven. Yeah, it's party time.
Excellent. No.
Herman brings out a bubbling, shaking cauldron, and he yells at it to stop moving. And it's
not
like,
cauldron.
Stay.
It's not cauldron just because a monster is holding it. That's very stereotypical of you. And I want everyone to know I do not agree with Tivis's analogy. I can't keep it straight.
Isn't that what it's called?
No, it's just a pot. He's just bringing a pot out. It's not a cauldron.
It looks like a mini cauldron.
No, it doesn't. It looks like a pot that I have in my freaking
I have. Well, anyway, he yells at it to stay, and it stops moving. So their food is very obedient, whatever it is.
It wants to be eaten.
Yeah.
Lily it reminds me of the Flintstones. With like how they have their garbage disposal and all that other stuff. And yeah.
Dude, if you haven't read the DC Comics version of the Flintstones, that is
dark.
It's dark.
I bet. Just think about this with the
I have never been emotional for a vacuum cleaner in my life until I read that. It's, oh my God, it's so heart-wrenching. I'm not joking.
When you watch the Flintstones in general, you kind of gotta, it's all a mute point. Like they're all gonna die.
It's a living.
They're all just gonna die though, because the dinosaurs haven't been wiped out yet there. So all those people are just dead. Fred's dead. Wilma's dead. Barney's dead. Yeah.
Bam Bam lives because he's a freak of nature.
Bam Bam and Pebbles are the Adam and Eve that survive.
Yeah. So Lily's like, how do I look in my new shroud? And he says, she is fit to be buried. And he's like, well, you're in a dashing smoking cloak or coat as well. Coat. And at that point, his coat just starts billowing smoke out.
Yeah. And then we get Grandpa to come back out.
Yeah, his presence is finally known again.
With the mummy still in the chair in the background.
I did. I saw it this time.
Did you?
Yeah.
He's always there.
I didn't see it till later, but I definitely saw it. Yeah, he wants to know where everyone is. Oh, there actually right here. I see the mummy. It's written. Herman's like, well, I invited some of my coworkers from the funeral parlor, and the Nelsons are late as well. And Grandpa's like, yeah, they won't be over. Like, well, why won't they? Well, why would they put in the effort when you already gave them permission to build in the backyard, you dummy? He's like, oh, has Roger even called once since he asked?
Yeah.
Has he? Herman's like, he stomps his foot, telling him to back off his new friend. Yeah. He's like, if they say they will be there, they will be there. Cut to the Nelsons, where Dee Dee is desperately trying to tell Roger, we got permission, we don't have to go. And he's like, no, we're friends. We're not flaking. So he's like, you can't judge a book by its cover. And she counters that with, you can when it's written by Stephen King. And damn you, Dee Dee, I agree. I'm not a fan of Stephen King.
Really, though, you can't really, not even a Stephen King novel you can judge by its cover.
The only one that, like, based on the movies alone, the only one that makes me interested is The Mist and also The Dark Tower. I want to read that series because I heard it goes insane and starts stealing from everything.
I forgot that was a Stephen King one, yeah.
Yeah, because at one point there's like a werewolf versus vampire battle with like lightsabers and golden snitches flying in the air. This sounds insane. I want to know why. Yeah. Roger's like, you're going. She's like, well, I'm not moving from behind this plant, and I can see where this is going, which is exactly where it is. Back at the party, Lily is giving a snack to Slim, one of Herman's coworkers, who is not listed as a guest in this, I am just realizing.
No.
In fact, none of the guests are listed. If anyone knows any of the actors in this background, please let us know in the comments, because IMDb, do better. Herman declines a snack.
Yeah.
And the door opens with Roger and, sure enough, Dee Dee carrying the plant that's been uprooted. Herman is so happy to see his friend. And Lily like looks at him and she's like, it's really awesome that you have someone, to hang out with. And he's like, oh, you brought doo-doo. And Roger corrects him and Herman says she needs to make up her mind. Lily takes the plant and is happy to have its roots.
Oh, yeah.
No comments?
No.
All right.
I got nothing for it.
Roger's like, hey, go mingle, to his wife. And she's like, I don't want to. He's like, just do it. So she tries to leave, but Spot shoots fire.
I was wondering why it was so dark on the screen. My light wasn't on.
Yeah, I was like, you keep fading from bright to dark.
I was wondering for a second. I just turned it on. The last 20 minutes we probably got. All right, go on.
Yeah, so she goes and plops herself on the couch, causing dust to shoot up and choke her.
Mm-hmm.
Lily comes back and sees she's not having a good time and says, hey, Grandpa, have you met our new neighbors? And as we know, Grandpa is the life of the party from that episode that he outdanced his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, yes.
Kills their exes or her partners.
I never forget a pretty neckline. And she's like, nope, I'm going to go talk to Slim. Slim has one of those very solemn voices that you hear during funeral services.
Yeah. He reminded me of Goodbury, Graves, and Gateman, Goodbury, and Graves, the three guys in Rob Zombie's movie, the way he talked.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Slim has heard a great deal about her. And then he begins, he's like, I've heard you're a perfect size 12. And he apparently wants to make sure, so he starts measuring her. And she's like,
Why are you measuring me?
Yeah.
What do you do? And he's like, I make coffins.
Yeah. So I want to make sure you're the right size.
It's messed up.
Yeah. Like, I guess, it's going to be quite a few years. I'm going to like shrink. Everyone shrinks when they get older. So you sure you want to make one based on my size now? She runs back to Grandpa and he says, he's like, see that dude over there not moving or blinking or probably breathing? That was Herman's first customer. And she begins freaking out. And so do I a little, I'll be honest. Is that just a corpse sitting there?
I mean,
But
we have a
no.
mummy in the back, so why would you freak out about that?
Yeah, but that could be a Halloween decoration. You never know. But no,
Well,
Herman.
we know.
Yeah,
As the
we know,
viewers,
but that's different than just having a dead guy brought to a
we
party.
know that the mummy is held captive by Lily, so she can become famous every few
Well,
years.
now it's being held captive by Herman, so he can apologize. No, Herman accidentally buried that guy alive, and she then begins getting irritated. And then, like, Roger shuts her down. It's like, think of the pool.
Yeah.
Lily comes out with more food, and Eddie pops out of the cabinet worried she cooked his Tasmanian devil. Lily's like, no, you little fool. It's a skunk.
And that's when Dee Dee throws it back, and Herman grabs it.
No, that was the old episode. Didu hands it to Herman, and he's like, oh, thank you. That would have been great if they did that again twice, though.
Yeah.
So Roger says if he knew there wasn't going to be any music, he would have brought over some. And Herman's like, no. By the way, can I ask you for some medical advice? And Roger's like, you came to the right person. I'm like, no, you didn't. He's a plastic surgeon. He doesn't practice general medicine anymore.
Yeah, but he still had to go to the medical school.
Yeah, but you still, I don't think you can legally do that once you pick a specialty.
He's like, not taking his insurance or anything.
Oh, that makes it worse. That means if I saw that episode of Scrubs, you could be sued for malpractice for practicing outside a hospital.
Yeah. Well, he tells him what Herman tells him that he has the legs of a 300-year-old dead man.
Yeah.
And so he looks at him, and Roger's like, okay. He's like, all right, well, let's take a look.
Yeah. He's like, let's check your reflexes for some reason. Hits his knee, kicks the plate of hors d'oeuvres through the roof. It goes through the roof of the Nelsons and lands on their coffee table. And I thought for sure this was going to come up again, but no, it doesn't. It's like they forgot that this happened.
Yeah. And then he's like, well, it looks like everything's okay.
Yeah, I mean you're working in perfect order. The fuck?
Yeah.
I guess. He's like, maybe, this is probably psychosomatic. And Herman's like, oh, I knew it. I'm a goner. Again.
Yeah.
And Roger's like, look, no, it's a mental thing due to stress.
Which I feel also as like a plastic surgeon or something, they probably do have training and stuff like that because they have to understand why somebody wants to change this part of their body and stuff like that.
Even when they don't want to, like if you get into a bad disfiguring accident and they need to reconstruct your face, like they need people on staff who can help, because there's a lot of people out there who they see their new face and they just can't cope with it.
Yeah.
What are you laughing?
Because I almost like smashed my face into the mic because I clicked the thing on my chair that makes it go forward.
My favorite is when you got a chair that's all the way up and you accidentally hit the release and
yeah, I've done that a few times and like almost broke my leg because I like to keep my legs underneath the chair.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Very
dangerous.
So
podcasting is a dangerous thing.
Office chairs in general.
Herman, all right, so
Yeah, Herman's like, hey, so Grandpa's thought you were just gonna, with me to get access to my backyard, and Roger comes clean.
Yep.
Originally, yes, and Herman's like, I hate when Grandpa's right, but they really did become friends by hanging out. And Herman lightly puts his hand on Roger's shoulder this time, not to hurt him like he did after the tennis match, because he's being conscious of his friends. And again, if there's something this show does really well, it's represent Herman's empathy and able, to recognize other people's comfort levels.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
It was nice to see that they admitted to what he was doing originally, but also was like, no, dude, like we're good friends. We're good. I like this.
So yeah, I really like, because originally I wasn't going to include earlier when he knocks him down by putting his hand on him, but I'm really glad I did, because I didn't suspect that, like, he purposely is careful doing it this time.
Yeah.
So he calls for a toast. Dee is just cowering in the background, by the way, like just hunched over like this, way in the background. Is it wrong seeing her so uncomfortable makes me this, just a little bit happy? She deserves it. But anyway, Herman grabs a smoking cup and a stein. He toasts to his new friend Roger and tells him, then Dee Dee tells him her name so he doesn't screw it up again. And, may they spend countless evenings together for years to come, and countless hours floating at the bottom of his pool.
Yeah.
So Marilyn calls for a dance and puts on music. Herman doesn't dance around and says Roger cured him.
I'm cured.
Yeah, he goes up to Dee Dee and asks for a hug, but she just faints to the floor. He looks at Eddie, who is dancing right there, and they just shrug.
And then they continue dancing, kind of like how Eddie did in the last dance episode.
Yeah. Footloose.
Yeah.
Then we go to the last scene.
Yeah, last scene. As the Munsters are all walking into the house in their swimwear, it looks like.
Eddie has a croc floaty.
He has the crocodile floaty.
Herman's
they're wearing robes. They're all wearing robes.
I only saw Herman's, but
yeah, Eddie's wearing a red one. Grandpa's wearing one. I don't know what Lily is wearing.
I thought Grandpa was just in his normal outfit. I'll have to go back and check.
Yeah. No, he's wearing a robe. He still has like his stupid like neck thing on and his bow tie and all that. Yeah.
I thought that was a joke. Like, Grandpa doesn't change for pools.
And they start talking about how good the pool felt because they had it so boiling hot, and that how
Grandpa turned up the heat.
And then we hear Dee Dee scream, and Herman's like, I knew it. She'd love it.
Yeah, nothing like a bit of scalding water to make your blood boil.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest here, warm pools are nicer than cold pools. Like when my in-laws had a pool in their backyard, they kept the sun thing on it so much that it was like, honestly, it was nice.
Yeah. And we have a pool heater for ours that we usually keep it so it's at a decent temperature all the time. Because with the rainwater and stuff, the rainwater makes it really cold after a while. In Florida, it's always fucking raining in the summertime. Yeah. So yeah, warmer. But when it's not like warm outside, then it just feels like dirty bath water. It's like, oh god, this is so nasty.
Do you not clean it often?
No, we clean it. It just feels like warm bath water, I should say, not dirty bath water. Warm bath water, just like warm.
Do you bathe in chlorine?
Yes, we do. My kids think that's taking a bath, and I'm like, no, go take a fucking shower.
There's a reason, like, water parks have showers that you walk through.
Yeah.
So we've come to the end of the episode. Do you want to share your thoughts first?
My thoughts. I wish Howie was in this episode.
I wish Howie was the new neighbor.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed this episode. It was fun. It was good to see some of the clash. Like, you take away Dee Dee, and this would have been a pretty good episode because you would have gotten, Roger doing the whole "I'm gonna do this just to get what I want," but then he comes to the realization that no, these are actually good people. These are his friends. These are, So yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the episode, and we didn't have a whole lot of Grandpa doing stupid shit to kind of distract from the main story, which was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool. We just had one basic story going on, minus like the leg thing, but that was like barely discussed,
Yeah. So I'm going to take Dee Dee out of the equation right now because if I'm basing this on her, this was the worst episode. I can't stand her character, but throwing her out, it's like week after week that we do this. I say something that I would love the show to do,
Mm-hmm.
and then they just do it. We this friendship with Roger is something that I felt this show has desperately needed. And now, as much as I don't like her, if they could get her character to chill out a bit,
Yeah,
I really don't want this to be the last episode with the Nelsons. And I know this is the last one listed on IMDb, and we know now we can't trust that.
yeah,
But if this is the last one, it's a heck of a way for them to get out, leave the show. And like having a friend to pop up every now and then is really nice in sitcoms, like a guest appearance, a supporting role, or whatever it's called.
mm-hmm.
A reoccurring character. There it is. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I thought between the writing duo that we got, because they've done some really good ones this season, and then Norman Abbott's directions, this came together to be a really fun episode. And while I don't think it cracks my top 5, it's a really good one.
Yeah, it was fun. It was cool to see Abbott come back and direct some more Munster stuff. So
yeah, you want to talk about some? It feels like this was a very much a Herman centric episode. Everyone else, because you barely. Lily was the next person we saw the most of in this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was a good tie with the Herman and then Howard, or no, Herman and Dee Dee really had the most screen time.
Yeah,
think about it. But yeah, okay.
But we got 3 episodes left. What do you think the next one is? Which is Munster Hoopsters will be about?
I think something with basketball, but gosh, it's hard to tell anymore because there were some episodes that we watched that had some names that just didn't make sense with what we saw.
The big Munsters one, I was so certain that was going to be about fast food.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes the most sense. I mean, it honestly, it could be anything.
Well, Hoopsters is generally given for basketball, but I don't think of.
We have not had a sports centered episode, and they did, like, Herman pretty much did everything in the classic show other than hockey. So, and they were probably too afraid to put someone out on ice with prosthetics.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good guess, honestly.
I think so.
But maybe, hopefully, we get Howie again.
Yeah.
Always hope for more.
How he can be the basketball trainer.
Yeah.
I don't see that, but
no, I don't see that.
Maybe Howie's going out for the team or Eddie. and
Or
Herman has to
goes
train
back to
them.
school again.
Oh gosh. Real quick, guys. Before we get off, I forgot again. You can find Marineland Carnival on Tubi. So definitely check that out. Go to tubi.com, I think is the website, and you can watch Marineland Carnival if you have not. I think I'm going to stop saying this in probably when we finish this season of the Munsters Today. So go over there, check the Marineland Carnival out over on Tubi, guys. And then again, go over and help us save Trauma over on YouTube by going to the MunsterCast.com/save trauma on YouTube. If you're seeing the thing on the screen, you can see an image right there of Toxie. And yeah, definitely go do that, guys. We would appreciate it. They would definitely appreciate it. And I think that is all I got besides just, hit us up on the email at themunstercast@outlook.com.
This was a sleepy episode this week, guys, but it was fun. I enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
I really did.
Yeah. You got anything else left, Tivis?
Other than I still don't know when the Munsters are leaving Peacock if they haven't already. So go invest in the box set because it's so worth it.
Yeah. And where can they find that at?
Well, we have a very convenient link. If I could find it here. Okay. At themunstercast.com/Munsters box set. And that's an affiliate link. So doing that, we literally get pennies back and kickback. So it helps us. Or just go. I found it at Target the other day next to Gilligan's Island. So
yeah.
I might pick up Gilligan's Island.
Oh, geez, I'm so tired. Okay. Oh, I hope everybody has enjoyed this episode of today's show. My wife already left the house, so I didn't get to give her a kiss. Luckily, I gave her like 20 before I started recording. Oh shit, I'm tired.
Telling you, one of these days, an arm's just gonna come off from screen and.
Well, I didn't say anything wrong, Tivis.
I know, but you still deserve it.
And so do you. And
yeah, but I could see mine coming. It's behind me.
All right, guys. Any last words, Tivis? Before I get into some other crap.
Thank you all for listening and continuing to join us on this journey through everything Munsters. It has been incredible, and I'm so happy we got 2 more seasons of this show left. And again, I apologize for the breaks that we're taking, but it is summertime and things are happening. We got a few weeks where there's gonna be no episodes. We'll try and let everybody know if we know ahead of time. Otherwise, just keep lookout on the social media, Facebook, Insta, and Twitter. Yeah, we both have some vacations coming up where we're going out of town, so we'll let you know ahead of time if we don't have anything pre-recorded.
Yeah, definitely, guys. And again, like Tivis has always said, we appreciate y'all, and I appreciate everybody who's been reaching out to us, talking to us, communicating with us, because it's been fun. It's really been good to hear from everybody out there and to hear from fans who not only like us and do the podcast that we're doing, but actually like the material and all of the material that we're talking about, whether we like it or not. It's always great to hear your guys' opinions, and as long as they're good criticisms and not just I hate it or
it's not the originals.
So let's keep it up going, and just hit us up on any social media platform that we are on, guys, and then let us know whatever the hell you want to hear or we could improve upon.
Whatever happened to 90210? Our nemesis.
They got fucked. So with that said, guys, we will catch you next time as we take another stroll down 1313 Mockingbird Lane.